All
This
right.
conference will now be recorded.
All right. So we're recording. Welcome to the May 2020 Petty Bobcat Boosters meeting. We've got a little bit of stuff to cover today, and let me advance the next slide here. Our agenda, we are going to do our intro, which we're doing right now. Minutes from our last meeting, I did not include in our PowerPoint today. I posted them to the Facebook site, so we will just go off of that. And if you approve of the slides, like it. If you don't approve of the minutes for last month, then just put a comment that you don't, or a change or whatever, and then we'll take that as the official thing. We're joined today by a special guest, Dr. Hubbard, who's on with us, who's going to go ahead and introduce himself and talk to us a little bit. We thought it would be a good idea to have him in as he started up his role as our new superintendent. We'll follow that up with our treasurer's report and then give some updates on school spirit, staff appreciation. We also have the Spirit of the Bobcat raffle that we have going on. So we're going to do that live tonight. And then we're going to finish up with elections and next steps. So this is our official last meeting of this school year. So with that being said, we can kind of skip over that. I think most people have seen this already. We're going to go ahead and introduce Dr. Hubbard. He's joining us today. He is our new District 34 superintendent. He is the former assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction, I believe, at District 117. And before that, he was also principal at Antioch High School. He has a strong community presence, and if I scouted appropriately, he is the president-elect of the Antioch Rotary Club. So he can correct me if I'm wrong on that point. If you've looked at any of his emails or some of his video messages, he has a strong message of YNWA, which is You'll Never Walk Alone, which is a pretty inspirational, strong message that he has been bringing to our district. You can follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and he also has a site that's related to his work at District 117 if you're looking for that. So with that being said, Dr. Hubbard, I'll give you the floor.
Wow, that was an awesome introduction. You did your homework. I'm really impressed. I really appreciate the opportunity to jump in. Ray had reached out and asked if I was interested in joining one of your booster meetings, and absolutely. Having been a former coach and specifically a high school principal, I think I fully understand and appreciate the impact that booster clubs have on our school communities by virtue of just the culture that they help build. I think that's probably the most important component. But in addition to that, just the things that help us do with, for, and on behalf of kids in the classroom that otherwise we wouldn't have the opportunity to do. And so I really, really appreciate the dedication, and the administrators at Petty speak volumes about the booster club that they have. And I think that's a testament to the impact that you've had and the organization that you've developed. And so I'm really excited and honored to be here tonight. Yes, I have. This is my 17th year. I'll just do a brief introduction, a little bit about me professionally and personally. This is I think, the end of my 17th year in education. I graduated from Michigan, the University of Michigan, and then took my first teaching job in Chicago. So I was a science teacher in CPS for the first 3 years of my career. And then I migrated a little bit north and was a science teacher, and then subsequently a dean at Highland Park High School. And I went out west. I was an assistant principal at Woodstock High School, and then became principal at Antioch 7 years ago. So I served as principal for 4 years and then moved over to the district office in the role of assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction. There's a couple things that I think I'm really passionate about, and I try to bring to my role as an educational leader. First and foremost, I talk a lot about relationships, and that's really where that tagline of "You'll never walk alone" really resonates with me. It's important for me to try to create a genuine atmosphere in which people feel like they're seen, heard, and loved every single day, regardless of what their experiences have been like outside of school, regardless of what their experiences have been like or are like at home. think it's really important that we create safe, welcoming environments for our kids, and not just some of our kids, but more importantly for all of our kids. So that's what I've really tried to work hard at, teaching myself about and understanding the experiences of others, and building empathy and kind of a strong listening ear as I try to get to know people at a deep and genuine level. I think a strong community presence is absolutely critical in terms of leadership. You can't serve a community that you don't know, and I don't think that you can serve kids and families and a staff that you don't know. And so I started it earlier in my career, but I really became focused on it when I became principal at Antioch, about being involved in the community and doing what it is to see our students and our families both inside and outside of school. And so I've been a member of the Rotary Club here for 7 years. I was first part of a corporate membership through District 117, and then I became an individual member 3 years ago because they had asked me to serve in a leadership capacity. And so in order to do that, you needed to become kind of an individual member. So I am the president-elect. I'm set to take the helm of the Rotary Club in Antioch July 1st. I've been preparing for that over the course of the last year. And then I also sit on the board at an organization called Mano a Mano Family Resource Center. It's an organization in Round Lake Beach. Actually, the offices are in Round Lake Park. And then we have offices in North Chicago, and then sprinkled throughout Lake County, and then some presence in McHenry County as well. It's kind of a one-stop shop family resource center for immigrant communities, regardless of immigration status. It's a place where we try to plug families into healthcare, childcare. We have on staff people that help improve immigration status for people in the community. Since the COVID-19 hit and we have the shutdown, we stood up what's called a Tanda Fund, and it's a Spanish word that it's about giving kind of toward a community pot. And we've gotten donations from a number of different family and public organizations in addition to individual donors. And we have a little over $260,000 raised that we've been utilizing to help families in the Lake County area that have been struggling with grocery bills, rent, and things like that. And so that's an organization that I became aware of about 3 years ago, and I've been on the board for almost 2 years. I serve on their advisory board, and then I'm also the secretary of their board as well. So I think community presence is really absolutely a passion of mine and something that I really value. It's an important piece of me as who I am, and it allows me to have different perspective on what it is that might be the needs of our students and our families. And then personally, I'm the proud father of 2 elementary school students and 1 elementary school teacher. I have a daughter, Kala. She is a 4th grader, and Bryn is a 3rd grader. They go to school at Prairie View Elementary in District 46 in Grays Lake. And my wife is a teacher at the same school. She teaches kindergarten there. And so, you know, my entire professional career has been at the secondary level. An opportunity opened up to serve in an elementary capacity at the pre-K through 8 level. I became really excited because I think there are 2 things. One is I really understand the experiences, and I'm starting to learn the experiences and the needs of my own children. And so I think that gives me a really unique perspective. And then ultimately, I've worked a long time in understanding what it is that students need to be successful at the high school level. And so coming at it with kind of the end game in mind, I hope is a value add to District 34 as I come over and try to help build and ensure that our students are ready for the transition to high school and beyond. So I'm super eager to be here. I couldn't be more excited to be staying in the community. I absolutely fell in love with Antioch. And I will share with this group before I turn it over to questions. You know, when I was looking to become a principal, I was part of interview processes in a couple of different districts. And I'm the type of person that just needs to be all in. And I couldn't, in good faith, look anybody in the eye and tell them that their community or their school was where I wanted to be if I was navigating multiple processes at the same time. And so when before I took my first interview at Antioch and didn't know anything about how it would play out, I pulled myself out of other processes to make sure that I was able to look people genuinely and say that this is where I want to be. It's a community that I researched extensively, and I really am excited to have had the opportunity to serve there. And similarly, when it came time to look for a superintendency earlier this year, there was a couple of processes that I had been a part of. And immediately upon getting the call that I was going to be part of the screening process and the initial interview process at Antioch, I pulled myself out of those other districts, out of one district in particular that I was a part of their process, because I knew where I wanted to be. And whether or not it worked out, I wanted to stick around Antioch. And so whether it was at the high school level or here. So I'm where I want to be. I'm really excited. This is a really difficult time to make a transition, and a difficult time to try to lead and build relationships that I think are really, really important. But I've tried to find ways recently between the communications that we send, a couple of videos that I've recorded. I'm not a poet, but I wrote a poem, just trying to find different ways to connect with people. I would be doing similar things and trying to get to know people on a personal level if we were face to face. And so I think it's important to try to do so remotely as well. And so it's been a challenge, but it's been a lot of fun so far, and I'm super eager to serve.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Dr. Hubbard. Speaking of building connections out there, did I see one of the ways that you've been reaching out is you were doing some volunteer work with the Antioch Traveling Closet recently?
I was, and absolutely blown away by the organization. So somebody had reached out to me, a parent in the community, and said, just so you know, this is going on, and we're really proud of the work that we're doing, and here's when we meet. We pack bags on this day and time, and we deliver on this day and time. And so it was really nice to kind of have the extension of an invitation. And so I was unable to make it on Friday for the packing, which probably speaks about my work ethic. I avoided the hard work, and I was able to be there for the deliveries on Saturday. But it is absolutely incredible. There are 10 different, I think, houses in different neighborhoods across Antioch that are collecting donated items, food and toiletries and paper products, and all week long. And then they're delivered to Lisa's house, Lisa Fisher, who is at WC Petty, delivered to her house on Thursdays. They package all of these bags on Fridays and then deliver to nearly 60 families. And they've got a partnership now the last 3 weeks running with the Antioch Fire Department, where they're getting frozen chickens that are part of the kind of care packages that are being delivered. I got to deliver with Lisa and Eric Dorman, who's an assistant principal at Augs. And so the three of us were on a delivery team together. And at one of the houses that we stopped at, Mr. Dorman took an envelope with the student's name written on the outside of it and dropped it in the bag. And so when we got in the car, I asked him what it was, and it was a handwritten note because this student hadn't been participating in remote learning. They had tried to contact, so it was a handwritten letter to the student and to his mom, just saying, hey, we're here to help, whatever we can do to get you online and to engage in what we're doing. I couldn't be more proud of the work that's happening. And that just speaks to who Antioch is as a community. And it was really, really cool.
Yeah, I know that we've have a number of teachers and staff from Petty that strongly support that. We've done our as much work as we can on the booster side to try to help and support that organization as well. So when I saw that, I thought that was a pretty cool thing, especially for just kind of coming into everything, just stepping up and getting out there to build those connections. Does anyone else have any questions for Dr.
It was a lot
Hubbard?
of fun.
No, but I do want to say we really appreciate, you coming in before you were even your first day and working with us. So, you did a lot of work before you're getting paid. So we really appreciate that. You're definitely all in. So, definitely the whole district is very happy you're here.
That's awesome to hear. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was supposed to start July 1st, and then I got the boards to agree to allow me to start early, but then I saw an opportunity to try to step up and help, and anything that I can do with and for the community. And I mean, we really have great community support, and for District 117, their superintendent and their board to be able to cut me loose and is just a testament to the relationship that we have and that we'll be able to leverage moving forward.
That's great. Any other questions? I know I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Hubbard back in the interview process. I went to one of the screening nights or mornings, and I believe it was a blizzard that day.
Yeah.
But I live close enough that I journeyed over and I was able to ask some questions of Dr. Hubbard, and was very impressed off of that process. But we thought that maybe that would be a good reason to come in. You know, I remember from that meeting, you talked about at 117 how you would spend time at the different high schools, and you would, you know, wear this hat on this day and this hat on another day, which was kind of the brainchild of why I thought maybe I should send you some Petty swag to welcome you to not only District 34, but to the Petty community. As a superintendent, you are part of that community as well. And I thought that would be a good way to welcome you in. You continue, do you think you'll continue that same tradition of wearing those hats, but amongst 5 different locations now?
Absolutely. I look forward to it. Like I said, I wore my Petty sweatshirt all day today. Proudly, it's very comfortable and it fits perfectly. But I had it on all day today, and I think it's an important thing for me. I think it's a small thing that you can do to try to build a relationship with somebody, right? It allows you to have a conversation with a coach or have a conversation with a student that participates on a team or something. So it's a small thing that I did when I was at 117. I tried to be cognizant of what I was wearing, where I was, and if I went to a cheerleading competition with my daughters, I would bring both hats. And when Antioch would perform, I had my Antioch hat on, and when Lakes would perform, I had my Lakes hat on. Having come from the principalship at Antioch, I will say that there were kids that took pictures and posted not so great things online about me in Lakes gear, but it was all in good fun. So.
Friendly competition.
I just wanted to, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to jump in and say that I think just your presence has been really cool to see. My kids are little. They're in first and second. But even coming around through the parade that Petty did, we live in Tiffany Farms. We're really close to the school. And they were standing out there with like a long banner sign that said Petty Strong. And you specifically stopped and like said, I love your sign. And they still talk about that. And I just think that it's so cool that you didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And the fact that you participate in all that stuff, I just think shows a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate. Oh, absolutely. That I argue that was one of the coolest things that I've ever participated in. I've done a lot as a educator, and that parade was one of the coolest things I've ever done. So it was a lot of fun to be a part of, and I pulled up not knowing whether or not I would be welcomed, and they were excited to have me just jump in line and follow along. So it was super great.
Well, I'm glad that you did.
Excellent. Anyone else have any questions or comments for Dr. Hubbard? All right. Well, not seeing any. Dr. Hubbard, thank you very much for joining us today. We are very excited. Obviously, I think you can tell by some of the comments to have you come aboard. You're already leaving quite an impression with us, and we appreciate the efforts, especially in the face of these challenging times that we're in. To have somebody step up and want to be here and want to lead is a wonderful thing. So we look forward to working with you in the future and helping build our communities.
Likewise, I have so much respect for what it is that booster clubs do in for schools. And so thank you so much for your participation and willingness to raise your hand and give back and help the school do what it is that they're trying to do. And if I can ever be of assistance in any capacity, I hope that you'd be comfortable in reaching out. And so I encourage anybody to contact me anytime with any questions or concerns or just ideas. So I really appreciate the opportunity to join you.
All right. Well, thank you. And you are welcome back anytime to join us anytime if you want to. I get you're going to have a lot of demands on your time, but you are welcome with us at any point in time. So thank you, Dr. Hubbard.
This is time well spent. Thank you so much. It's good to see everybody. Have a great night.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. So that was great that Dr. Hubbard was able to join us. I thought it was just a great opportunity to have him introduce himself to the Petty community a little bit. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed that, because I know not everyone's had a chance to interact with him. So, all right, well, we'll go ahead and continue on with regular business. So we've got our treasurer's report. Melissa, do you want to kind of start taking us through this?
Sure. You can see, sorry, big old cough. Mike, can you hear me? There we go. Okay, sorry guys. You can see our starting balance and ending balance for this month. Just kind of hovering around that $12,000 to $13,000 range. Some of the income this month came from PayPal donations, Ray, which I believe those were to go towards the raffle items for staff appreciation. Is that correct?
Yeah, the PayPal donations are for the staff appreciation. There's also PayPal money in the t-shirt sales. Okay. And if you look over, I have that amount marked into pending because I haven't transferred it over from PayPal just yet. So we'll do that after this meeting.
No problem. We did have $1,200 go back into the account. That came from money we had set aside for 3rd grade for a field trip, and then 5th grade. We gave them their $1,000 to kind of do whether they were going to do field trip or 5th grade picnic. They were going to kind of choose how they wanted to do that. So since those things didn't happen, that money was, those checks were torn up, and so that money is back in the account for now. Our expenses this month really focused on our awesome staff and appreciating them. We provided a yard sign for each staff member, and you can see the cost for those were $614.90. A beautiful, stunning little thank you cookies, and then purchasing the gift cards for the raffle that we had as well. And then the pending charges will then be for the t-shirts for each of the students and a gift card, and then we have to bring back over that PayPal money.
Yeah, we'll add that back in there as well. Something else that we'll have pending, but actually is kind of part of next year's budget, but we'll probably pay it off here this month, is we just got a renewal notice for the insurance. So that will be, in there as well, but we kind of build that into the budget anyways. Right. So thank you, Melissa, for pulling all that together. I know some of those numbers were added in here by me because they're kind of last minute things that we didn't do before. You did your breakdown the other day, so thanks for kind of going with the flow of that.
No problem.
So, all right. So that's the treasurer's report. Bylaws. So last month, we talked about elections and some of the things that are going on with our virtual meetings and whatnot. And we discussed some changes that we could make to the bylaws to make sure that we are still operating within them, and that gives us flexibility for some of these uncertain times. So the executive board made some recommendations to the bylaws to account for virtual meetings such as this, virtual elections and elections in general, and then possible election delays. So for instance, if we could not get enough support or we couldn't pull things together in time to do a virtual election, we could delay that until the fall or later on in the summer at a different date if we needed to. And possible board voids, because at the time that we were meeting in April, there were, I don't think, any nominations for positions at that point in time. So we were kind of wondering if elections could even happen with no nominations. So we drafted updated bylaws. The board voted unanimously to approve, and we posted those recommendations and those changes, and they are posted on our website, and we also posted them in our Facebook group. So hopefully you've had a chance to see those. They're not a lot of materially new changes, more tweaks, and then expanding out to give the board more so in the future the opportunity to leverage and have some flexibility if needed, just to make sure that the boosters keep operating if there's challenging circumstances like we are facing in today's climate. All right, so that being said, those didn't build very well, but we have our Spirit of the Bobcat Award. Our last month's winner was Lisa Fisher. This month, our first place winner is Angelina Colon. So congratulations, Angelina. We have some other second and third places that came in very close. This was another very close month of tallies. So congratulations to Amy Turner, Brandy Crawford, Mrs. Hain, Mrs. Earl, Mrs. Halterman, Mrs. Hope, and Mrs. Fisher, all for supporting our community. So with that being said, we are going to do our Spirit of the Bobcat drawing. So in this lovely fishbowl that I'm sure many of you staff have seen before, we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw the winner of a $50 Amazon gift card, which is part of our second half drawing. I'm closing my eyes. I think I've got one. And the winner is Mrs. Ellis.
Awesome.
Congratulations. I think we have a leftover Bath and Body Works card,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
All right, so we're going to pull one more person. This one's not a $50 one.
It's $10.
It's a $10
at
Bath and Body Works, but maybe you can get some hand soap. Miss Cher.
Miss Cher.
So congratulations. We will have those and get those out to you when we see you next, which in these cases I think is going to be somewhat soon. So we'll get back to you on that. So.
Okay. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, so let's keep moving on. All right, staff appreciation. Melissa talked about this. We want to thank all of our volunteers for Staff Appreciation Week. We had a lot of volunteers that were involved in planning. We had volunteers that made donations to help fund our staff raffle. We had volunteers that ran all over Kenosha, McHenry, Lake County, Cook County even, to deliver yard signs to our staff members. I think we got a grand majority of our staff was able to participate. Mm-hmm. Not everybody chose to participate in the activities, but we were able to cover a lot of people. And if you saw on our Facebook group, I think we made a lot of people happy with some of the things that we did out there with surprising them with their yard sign and cookie. We also chose to do activities for every day of the week. And I know Jackie took a strong hand in planning that out and having different activities for every day for Staff Appreciation Week to keep things going. We did the video collaboration. I know that was done across buildings, but we had an absolute ton of people who submitted and took a photo or video to be part of that staff appreciation video. And I thought it turned out pretty darn well, just based off of all the different things in there. I don't think there were many dry eyes after watching that video. We also did that Facebook Live drawing that we talked about, which every staff winner was able to win a gift card. We had a gift card for everyone. We had one winner of a $100 gift card. We had another winner of a $50 gift card, and then everybody else walked away with at least a $10 gift card. So thank you everyone for all your support. We wanted to share the love for the staff members that maybe are feeling a little down because they're not with their students, they're not at their school, and it's easy to feel left out. And so we wanted to make sure that everyone was able to feel a part of that community. So thank you everyone for that. Speaking of that and being part of a community as part of the school spirit, hopefully you've all seen this by now, but we also pulled together and decided we would get a t-shirt for every student and staff. We actually just picked those up this morning. It's a massive amount of giant, I think we have 6 giant boxes in the garage right now.
Yeah, was our total count like 500 and...
Over 500.
I think it was like 540.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
T-shirts. We got varying sizes and different colors for the grade groups. I'm not showing the design here. We kind of want it to be a surprise. I know some of you have seen it already.
The teachers have seen it, yeah.
Teachers have seen it, and have teachers in the front?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, anyways, some of you may have seen it. Some of you may have not, but we kind of want to keep it a surprise. So we just picked those up this morning. We need to go through and now sort them by size and classrooms and make sure that we have them done. We will be coordinating our deliveries with our special delivery drivers. We've had an enormous amount of support offered up to us to help deliver these. So we've got our delivery team in place, and now it's just a matter of coordinating that and getting them out to them. So we will probably start delivering those next week. Hopefully by the end of the week is when you'll start seeing them there. Note though, not everyone will receive them at the same time, because I mean, we're talking about, you know, almost 600 some shirts. We're not going to be able to get them all out to everybody on the same day or anything like that. So they might, you know, leak out over a couple of days, but guaranteed everyone that ordered one will get one. And we were able to find one for every student. We have every student covered.
Every student is accounted for. Yes.
So
thanks to the teachers for helping with all that.
Yeah, that was a huge effort, and thanks to Catherine for kind of spearheading that in the background and getting that all squared away. So I know that was could be challenging at times. So, but we're getting through it, and we're almost done and ready to start delivering those. So keep an eye out for those, and those will definitely be out in time before the end of the school year and to everyone. So. All right, so now is the time where we need to look at elections. That was probably the biggest thing that we had going on for this meeting, is looking at our 2020-21 Executive Board elections. Before we go ahead and do that, I want to say to our current Executive Board, thank you. Melissa Waters, our treasurer, who has put in 2 terms as treasurer. Catherine Swanson, our vice president, who has put in 2 terms as vice president. Christina Harris, our vice president, who has put in 1 term as vice president, myself, who has put in 2 terms as president. You know, without the help of Melissa, Catherine, and Christina, we couldn't do any of the things that we want to do. So thank you for all of your service and all of your help and support of the Petty community. It's just been nothing short of remarkable. So thank you guys for everything that you do. So that being said, before I go into the results, the way this will work is I'm just going to take us live to the form. We're going to view the form and the results live. And that's going to be the results, the end results. What will happen after this meeting is we will set up a transitioning meeting. And so that will have our current executive board and the new executive board. We'll set that up for late May or early June to kind of look at how do we transition. And part of that is, you know, what do we need to do with the bank account? I talked with State Bank of the Lakes today, and there is some definite things that we need to do. Actually, surprisingly, it seems a heck of a lot easier than it was to set up the account, and a heck of a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But that is something we can do. We can get that transitioned pretty easily, actually. We'll also look at all the different accounts and passwords that we have for our Gmail accounts and PayPal and different things like that, and we'll create some spreadsheets. There's a lot of tools that we have out there. I've got some spreadsheets there, but I want to make sure everything's up to date and get that in order to pass that over, and we'll kind of cover that in the meetings and what the different accounts are for, and if you want to leverage them, if you don't want to leverage them, how you can do all that. The insurance renewal we talked about, we'll go ahead and probably process that. I think it's due June 15th, so it doesn't make much sense not to do it, considering we need to have insurance anyways, and it's budgeted for. We will just handle that and kind of go, you know, tie that off. And then we'll start to look over at adding the new executive board over to the moderators of the Facebook group, and then look to remove anyone that is not retained then off of the moderation of the Facebook group as well. So that's the plan. Oh, and then materials. There is some boxes of materials. I think I've got Rubbermaid of t-shirts here and some other supplies, maybe some Xerox paper, or envelopes, some things like that, car stickers, things of that nature that we have here. If we need to transfer those over, we will figure out how to do that as well. But that will all be in our transitioning meeting that we start in May or June. Oh, so let's let me go off of this. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. So we can go ahead and go to the ballot. hopefully everyone sees it. I'll go a little bit slower here just to see. So we're at the ballot. We're going to go to responses. And we are going to see what we've got here. So it looks by a rather overwhelming response, 96% of the votes. Christina Harris will be our new president. Congratulations, Christina. For vice president, by another overwhelming response, 98%, we've got Jackie Gramone, who's going to take over as vice president. Congratulations, Jackie. As far as treasurer goes, another overwhelming response of 93, we'll call it 94%. Katie Lindemann, who's going to take over at treasurer.
Hey.
And at secretary, at 89%, or we'll call it 90%, Sarah Glasshagel, who's going to take over as secretary. So, and we'll kind of help fill you in with secretary, considering we don't have a secretary right now. So that'll all be part of the transitioning, but congratulations to everyone. Hey, we see them. So if anybody wants to say anything, feel free.
Like no.
All right, I'll say hi. I'll step up. I'm Sarah, and I have my very first kid coming through Petty now. So I have 3 kids, but he's the first one. So I figured why not just jump on the board and help out. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of it. Thanks.
I will jump in too. This year I'll have 3 kids at Petty. They'll be 3rd, 2nd, and kindergarten. And I just thought it was time to, you know, be more a part of the school and help out and everything like that. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous, but everybody I've reached out to and said, can I handle this? They've all said yes. So I'm excited. Thank you.
Jackie here. I have a 2nd grader at Petty this year, and I've been kind of helping out, getting my feet wet this year. I'm a teacher locally over at District 33, so almost 34, not quite. And it's been fun jumping in and helping, and I look forward to taking on a higher role and helping out and continuing to help.
Excellent. Thank you. Christina, are you there? I don't know, maybe she's muted. All right. Well,
Hello?
thank you everyone for. Go
It's
ahead,
Christina. Sorry. Everybody knows who I am. I just wanted to make sure congratulate the rest of the board and, especially thank Ray and Catherine. They've been, an amazing asset the past 2 years. They'll definitely be missed. I'm sure I'll still be hounding them a little bit for a little while. But thank you very much, Catherine and Ray. You guys have been amazing and done a lot for Petty. So thank you.
Well, we'll still be there, but we'll be there as a helper
On the board wise,
parent
correct.
role. Yeah, exactly. So we still have a student at Petty, so we'll still be around.
Yeah, this is Melissa. I just want to jump in, and Ray and Catherine, and thank you guys as well. You guys have gone above and beyond what I think a booster president would ever do. And I just want to thank you guys for your sacrifices you guys have made over the last 2 years to just really step up and kind of get this going and leading us kind of these first 2 years. So thank you to you guys, and to the new board, thank you guys for stepping up, because there was many a days we were worried that there wouldn't be anybody. So we are really thankful that you guys are going to kind of continue this on, and we're definitely all here to continue to support you and cheer you on and help you as we kind of transition over. So thank you for stepping out and helping us out.
Yeah, we saw that they were the only 2 nominees for all of the positions. So we're like, we can't let that happen. That's not fair.
Yeah, that was pretty much the motive for,
Like,
that happened.
Well, thank you for motivating each other.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a joint decision. It was all or nothing.
We're a package deal.
Peer pressure.
Well, listen, seriously, it is a great community. The amount of staff help and everything, I feel strongly that it's one of the best communities ever out there.
Yeah.
And so
Otherwise, we would never do what we do.
yeah, exactly. And you know, Jackie and Christina, and there's other people that did not run for positions, but are great helpers and assets as well. I feel very happy that the boosters are going to be in for a long haul of being able to help out and continue to build the Petty community. Yeah. So congratulations. I mean, that's really pretty much everything. You know, the next slide I had was how you reach out to us, but everybody's seen that probably enough times. You know, the next thing was saying, hey, what's our next meeting? There isn't one yet. That's up for the new board to determine and work on and figure out their plan for over the summer. First, we need to transition everything over and help them get comfortable in their roles, but look for more information there. I know we're not 100% done with everything that we've got for this year, but we're getting there. We're going to close out this wacky year strong. And, you know, I feel that's another reason why I wanted to invite Dr. Hubbard is I was really impressed with the messages and the way he was jumping right into everything. I thought that was a good way to close this wacky year off strong and show that there's a bright future, not only for District 34, but for Petty and everything else.
And the boosters.
And the boosters for us, because, you know,
It's been a
earlier this
struggle.
year, this has been a struggle, whether the boosters would be able to operate or whatnot. So you heard it from him tonight, you know, talking about how important he felt the boosters were. I saw it in his own posts, and he's even had some posts on YouTube about how important the Sequoia Pride and the Lakes boosters are at those schools. So he definitely does value that, and hopefully this will be the new renaissance for boosters in our district. So excellent. I mean, the floor is open if anybody wants to talk or anything else. Otherwise, for the first time ever, we're done 15 minutes early.
I know.
What?
It's a miracle.
In my 2 years, I don't think that's ever happened. So, all right.
Well, thank you,
everyone. And, you know, stay Petty strong. And hopefully you guys enjoy your shirts.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.